Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe how much more that is.
In this video, I'm going to compare my experience as a print-on-demand Etsy seller with my experience with the print-on-demand website, Redbubble, including how easy each site is to use, how long it took me to get my first sale, the pros and cons of each site, whether it's really passive income or just another job, and of course, which do I recommend and which should you do? I want to make this video to help you guys have a better understanding of these platforms from my perspective as a top Etsy seller who had over $250,000 of sales in 2020 and already $27,000 of sales in January 2021. So why did I open my Redbubble shop, and should you open a shop on Redbubble?
And the answer is yes.
Now, I should probably say that comparing Redbubble and Etsy could sound a bit like comparing apples and oranges. On Etsy, sellers can sell a nearly infinite number of products within the handmade, vintage, and craft supplies realm, whereas Redbubble sellers must use the products and photos on Redbubble. However, if someone is a designer or artist that wants to sell their designs on Etsy and on Redbubble, which one is for you?
I saw a couple of funny phrases that didn't fit the aesthetic of my Etsy shop, but I knew this design would sell, and the design would sell very well on face masks, which I also wasn't interested in adding to my Etsy shop. So, of course, I watched a few YouTube tutorials, thanks Ryan Hogue and Alexandra Stramboom, on how Redbubble works, and I started uploading my designs right away. I estimate I maybe spent 8 to 10 hours completing the shop, including watching the tutorials and adding the additional graphics. I opened the shop on September 20th, 2020, and my first sale was on October 18th, 2020. And I've luckily had nearly daily sales every day since. For comparison, I had a sale within the first week of opening my Etsy shop, but I already had a Shopify store, so I already knew what might work. The main pros of Redbubble: completely free to use, easy to add designs, but it does tend to be best suited for photos or graphics that are patterns. So if you're a photographer or graphic designer, Redbubble is going to be extra easy for you to stand out on the platform, as it does favor shops that have more of an artistic sensibility to them versus generic quotes. Once your artwork or designs are up, you receive commissions, and it's completely passive. There's no customer service or reviews to worry about. You can set your own profit margins. Redbubble advertises for you. It's very easy. You simply add a few graphics to complete your shop, to brand it, and then start adding your own designs onto pre-made product templates and adjust them to your liking. It's about as easy as it gets. They deposit money to your bank account or to your PayPal account, and that's it. You're done. The main pros of Etsy. Well, Etsy is very low cost to get started, and while there are fees once you make a sale, the cost to open your shop is also free, and then it's 20 cents to add each item. Plus, Etsy fees and transaction fees will be deducted from the sale, which averages to be about 10% of the total item plus shipping costs. But if you don't sell anything, you're only out 20 cents for each item you've added. Etsy also has a lot of traffic, with millions of monthly shoppers looking for unique items. You get to brand the shop much more than the extent available on Redbubble. On Etsy, you can add your own photos, logos, more information in the text, and this results in the possibility for much more overall revenue and potential profit. Etsy brings in customers who are specifically looking for unique and personalizable items. It's relatively easy to get started on Etsy, but you're going to have to spend some time to figure out the type of buyer Etsy brings in and how to attract them to your shop. The main cons of Redbubble. Well, because it's completely free, there's a lot of competition. The products and photos are exactly the same for every seller. So if you want to stand out, it's going to be on the merits of your design or how it's marketed. While you can determine your own profit margin on Redbubble, there's so much competition, it is unlikely you'll be able to go much above 20% margins for many items. Again, unless your design is absolutely superb or unique, or you already have a social media following or similar. It is less likely you're going to be able to make tons of money on Redbubble, as small margins, greater competition are going to require even more creative designs. This means it's not going to be super easy if you haven't done anything with graphic design or photography previously. The main cons of Etsy. Well, the drawbacks are somewhat similar similar to Redbubble. Etsy is still a marketplace with tons of potential buyers, but there's also lots of competition. Not only are you competing against other print-on-demand shops, but you're also competing against other ma and pa Etsy shops where they design and print the shirts themselves. And this results in much more competition as they can offer much lower prices and can ship the items much faster than is possible with most print-on-demand companies. The fees Etsy charges are not insignificant. The 10% does add up, and more often than not, you'll still want to bring in your own traffic, whether that's through Etsy ads on the platform itself or via social media. And especially if your shop is newer and doesn't have as many items or reviews as a more established shop. The other con is the customers that prey on new shops and leave a 1-star review for no reason at all with the hopes they will be immediately refunded, and the seller really has no recourse. And Etsy can be very time consuming, at least for me. The cons of both platforms, the cons of both Redbubble and Etsy, are that you have less control over the customer experience than if you have your own website, and also the possibility that your shop is taken down for violating someone else's rules. You are also dependent upon the success of the marketplace as a whole. If the marketplace is gone, so is your income. So passive income versus another job. Well, the way Redbubble works is super passive. You simply add the designs and literally walk away. If you have a great design in a great niche and have marketed it with your description and tags to the right audience, it's pretty likely you can get some sales. Will these sales continue on into eternity? Well, of course that's unlikely, as tastes and cultural preferences and trends do change over time. And of course, as does the amount of competition. I do certainly think you can make passive income with Redbubble, and certainly a lot for some designers, but it's definitely going to take more design skill than Etsy, which I feel is more about marketing than Redbubble is. With print on demand on Etsy, there is more emphasis on the shop as a whole, as the visible reviews are for the whole shop. And you do have to tweak things quite often as Etsy rolls out new tests all the time and encourages sellers to try new things. And while yes, I do make money while I sleep, I do still need to make sure that each order gets to the print provider correctly. More often than not, a customer on Etsy will place an order and send me a message to tweak or alter something to their liking, which is great that I get the sale, but it is time consuming to make sure that each of these orders is fulfilled correctly. It's really not another job, but it is like a business. And with that, you're going to need to invest time. Let's be honest here. And like me, you might find this acceptable as you're making money, or you might not, and this might not be a possibility in your life right now. Profit. Well, certainly my gross income numbers are going to seem very high from 2020 at $250,000, but the actual profit was about $67,000, which of course is still mind-blowing to me regardless of needing to put in some extra time or not. It's still $66,000 I didn't have before. And the crazy thing is I only need a computer and an internet connection, so I can be anywhere in the world. However, I did also earn $100 a month pretty consistently on Redbubble. An extra $100 a month completely passive after my 10 hours of input time is fantastic. Again, I do have an idea of what will sell and how to market it to buyers from my Shopify and Etsy experience. Now, the difference for me is with the current income numbers from my Etsy shop, I can definitely see a clear path toward leaving my teaching job. Obviously, Redbubble would need more study and more time designing, as the type of designs in my Etsy shop do tend to attract a specific customer base. For example, there's this one design that I added in my Etsy shop in the beginning of November 2020, and it's made me over $11,000. Now, even though I have the exact same design uploaded to Redbubble, I've yet to sell even one of those items. Yes, with the exact same design. While both websites are marketplaces, the audience, in my experience, is quite different. So which should you do? First of all, congratulations for trying something new, as you never know the possibilities that might grow from it. So which should you do? Well, the answer, of course, is it depends. While we all like to say we are busy, do you want to, or do you have the time to manage an Etsy shop? Or do you want money to magically appear in your account with as little effort as possible so you can focus on other creative ventures? Then you should choose Redbubble, or at least start there. Are you a designer or have design skills already? Or even a photographer? Then I might again recommend Redbubble first, just to get your items up and into the algorithm so customers can start to find your products while you're researching how Etsy works and how to set up your Etsy shop. Then go ahead and get your 40 free listings, link in the description, and give Etsy a whirl. The good news? Well, no matter which you choose, you really have nothing to lose except your time, or perhaps some ad revenue if you choose to on Etsy, and you might just earn a little bit of pocket money without much effort. Now, the amazing news, if you can figure out how to make $10, you can make 100, and if you can make 100, you can make 1,000. The possibilities truly are endless. For unique and personalizable, personalizable.
If you like this video, you might like my last video, What No One Tells You About Selling on Etsy.